Hello, everyone, and welcome to BlatzChatz. I'm going to share some tried and true, quick frameworks to help you get organized and present your work like a pro. Today, in our first installment, I'm going to give you a quick overview of spontaneous talks frameworks. Look at this guy here. He's eager to utilize spontaneous talk frameworks to be a better presenter, and you can too. I have a lot to cover, so let's jump right in. First, let's talk about stories. People love stories. People remember details about a compelling story that pulls at their heartstrings or that motivates them to take action on something. Stories pack a pretty powerful punch. And we are told time and time again the value of storytelling when it comes to presenting our work. When you are presenting your user experience research, for example, you should tell your audience stories. Tell them what you observed in the research session. Show them the video clips of the user struggling to use the product. Include compelling quotes to add sentiment. Those pack a pretty powerful punch. Let your research insights tell a story. But we are here to talk about spontaneous talks frameworks. And that's a little bit different than your traditional fable that follows an arc and a structure of a story. I have another video of how Aesop's fables relates to UX and professional worlds. Check that out if you want a little bit of fun storytelling. However, the things we're going to talk about today may not have those traditional story elements of a rising action and a climax and a resolution. These stories don't have a lead character or a scenario. Heck, you might even go as far to say that some of them are not stories at all. Spontaneous talk frameworks are less about describing tall tales and more about quickly organizing your thoughts using a framework. Who doesn't love a good framework? Who doesn't love a shortcut to help them get organized quickly so they can jump up and get going right away? And who doesn't love a way to reduce anxiety when talking to other people? Do you love these things? I know I love all of these things. And this is what spontaneous talks frameworks do. They help you organize your thoughts to present UX designs or research findings to your stakeholders. Spontaneous talk frameworks help you answer questions on the spot. And finally, they can be a fabulous crutch when you need to speak on a topic that you have not had the opportunity to prepare for in advance. So I hope you're ready for some on your feet thinking and organizing, because there's no turning back now. So I want to talk a little bit about the value of spontaneous talks frameworks. I want you to know about these spontaneous talks frameworks so that you can know your answer because you organized your thoughts, so that you can feel confident in your speaking because you organized your thoughts, and so that you can just do it. That is, you can just speak with less anxiety. I hope that you're familiar with the concept of chunking. And that is a way to organize things into small pieces to help you comprehend larger pieces of information. A classic example of this is the telephone number. It's often broken down into smaller segments of numbers rather than just blurting them all out at once, like you see here. This is the number that I would call to get in touch with the King of England. Can you believe he has his phone number published online? Breaking it up like this makes it much easier to remember. And that's what spontaneous talks frameworks do as well. They help you break up your story into smaller, consumable chunks so it's easier to organize and to remember. So I first heard about this subject when I was watching a video on YouTube starring Matt Abrahams. So Matt is a lecturer at Stanford Graduate School in the United States, and he is a great speaker who teaches about how to become a more engaging speaker yourself. If you want to check out him on YouTube, I highly recommend it. I'll drop the link in the show notes. In this lecture that you see here, Matt talks about spontaneous talks frameworks. And after I saw this, I was totally inspired. I was inspired because I'm fearful of having to speak on the spot. Can you relate? Let's talk about that fear for a second. Now, I don't know about you, but there are times when I'm put on the spot or I'm asked a tricky question, I kind of freeze like a deer in headlights. And what I mean is I stop, I have a bit of an internal panic. I try to come up with an eloquent answer, but instead I spit out a bunch of garbage that doesn't make a lot of sense. And this has happened to me, like, for example, on a job interview. Has this happened to you? Do you tend to freeze on the spot when you're asked a question or you need to give an answer? But now that I know about spontaneous talks frameworks, I can use this thought organization technique to answer anything and to present my UX research work. Or you can use it to present your work as well. So here's what the process looks like. You are presented with a topic or a question. You take a second to think about the frameworks that I'm going to share with you in future talks. You pick a framework that you might use to structure your answer. And then you share an organized response, not some rambling, chaotic, hot mess of jumbled words that might not make any sense. This is the beauty of spontaneous talks frameworks. They help you get over that fear by getting you to quickly organize your thoughts, which gives you confidence to speak, which makes you feel okay doing it, and it just lets you do it. That is, you just give an answer or you share your work. I hope you enjoyed this little mini introduction to spontaneous talks frameworks. Next in the series, I'm going to talk you through several frameworks so that you can learn how to apply them to your professional presentations and sharing your UX work. If you're digging BlatzChatz content, please give me a like, friend. Also, if you have not done so yet, subscribe to the BlatzChatz channel so that you'll be notified when these new spontaneous talk frameworks are shared with you. Thanks for watching. Bye.